Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Paul the Solar Guy, and on this channel we empower people to make better decisions about their electrical usage and educate people about solar and renewable energies. And in today's video I want to take the time and go over a few sample electric bills as well as some real electric bills in a couple different parts of the country so that you can use this information and translate your electric bill to figure out exactly how much you pay for electricity in your area. So in today's video, like I said, we're going to go over a few sample bills, but there are three numbers that I'm going to want to draw your attention to in today's video, and dollar amount that you see on your bill once you open it up. So today we're going to talk about the three main numbers to look for on your electric bill, so that way you can understand or have a better understanding of what the actual cost of energy that you're using is. We're going to preview a few sample electric bills from Eversource in the Northeast, as well as from Florida Power and Light in the Southeast. So a couple different parts of the country to give you a broad understanding of the actual cost differences of electricity. A lot of people, they'll think about main numbers like dollars per gallon for fuel, but believe it or not, the cost of electricity, or the cost per kilowatt hour, which is what we're going to dive into in this video, can vary drastically where in the country you are. And so once you know what your actual cost of energy is, you can make better decisions about which energy source to use for what purpose, thus saving you money on your electric bill. And that's what this channel is all about, is helping to empower people to make better energy decisions. So as I mentioned, in today we're going to talk about the three numbers that you need to look at on your electric bill. The first one's going to be the total cost of the bill, the actual dollar amount that you have to pay every month. The next number that you're going to look for is the actual electrical usage of your monthly bill. So that's the kilowatt hours that you've used. And then the third number is going to be any non-usage associated charges, like a base customer charge, or any late fees that are associated with your account, not necessarily tied to your energy consumption or your actual kilowatt hour usage. So those are the three big numbers that you're going to want to look for on your electric bill: the total cost, your actual electricity consumption, and then the non-associated charges, or the charges not associated to your actual consumption of your electricity. So without further ado, let's dive into it. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to briefly go over a sample Eversource electric bill. We're going to kind of go into the more common sense approach of your electric bill. So in Eversource, we have, two big portions of your electric bill. You have your supply portion, and then you have what's categorized as the delivery portion of your bill. And in the delivery portion, it's made up of three different portions. It's the transmission, the distribution, operations and service, as well as public policies, taxes, things like that. The supply portion of your bill is the actual cost to burn the fuel in the power plants to generate the electricity. Whereas the delivery portion of your bill is the transmission, the maintenance of the power lines to actually bring that energy or that electricity from the power plant where it's burned and produced, transmitting it to your house, which also includes the distribution, operations, and service. So the transmission is basically the building of the infrastructure. The distribution, operations, and service is the fleet of people that are required to maintain those lines. If a tree branch falls on a wire somewhere, obviously we want that fixed, and that's kind of enrolled in the delivery portion of your bill. And then also to the public policy portion, which is, renewable energy efficiency programs, things like that, that could be determined by your state or local legislature that require the local utility company to fund certain programs, low income assistance, things like that. So on their website, if we go onto the category where we can view a sample bill, this is a Eastern Massachusetts sample electric bill. So if you live in Eastern Massachusetts, this is what you can expect to see on the front page as well as the back page. So on the front page, it's going to have a brief overview, your account information, your name, as well as a nice little chart of your past electrical usage and the month of the year of that electrical usage. And then so up at the top section here is just a summary of your payments, the amount due, previously paid, balance forwards, things like that. And then this section here is where a lot of people get caught up. You can see, why am I getting charged supply and delivery? These two numbers together total equal your total current charges, because as I mentioned, the bill is broken up into two different portions. In our area, you can choose your electric supplier. So, you know, your cost of supply for your energy. If you choose not to use Eversource, if you choose to source your energy from a third-party energy supplier, typically those are lower rates for promotional periods of time, and then they fluctuate more. But in our area, you do have the ability to do that, in which case your electric supplier shows up here, and that's associated with the supply portion. Eversource is always the delivery portion, because they're the ones who maintain the grid in our area. So the second page is going to give you a little bit more in-depth information. It's going to have, again, your account information here, and then it gets into the more nitty-gritty of the data, your energy meter, your previous read, your current read. And so basically they take the difference between these two numbers, and that's your actual usage number for this billing period. Below that, it has the similar graph that we saw up here on the first page, but it's more data driven. It has the actual exact kilowatt hours used for each monthly period. And again, you can break that down and realize which month that was, and kind of gauge if you have a large air conditioning load, or if you have a pool that runs in the summer, that kind of thing. Just all things to help you understand your electric bill and where you use energy. Likewise, on the side here, it's going to break down your past charges, your current charges, and your payments. And then the bottom portion here, it breaks it down into your supply charges, how they came up with your supply number, as well as your delivery charges and how they came up with this total delivery charge here. And in the delivery section, you can see it breaks down all of these several different items which make up the transmission, the operations, the distribution, and you can see all of these are fractions of a penny right here per usage. So as I previously mentioned in the intro, the big three numbers that you're going to want to look at for your energy bill, again, is going to be the total amount due, your actual electricity consumption, so it's going to be this number here, as well as any non-associated or non-usage associated charges. So in this example, the only charge under this section that's not associated with usage is this customer charge right here. And so that customer charge is a $7 every month charge. So again, the three numbers, your total, your usage, and then your non-usage associated charges. With those three numbers, you can actually figure out what your cost per kilowatt hour is. And that's really the number that we're looking to dive into and figure out, for every one of these, how much does it cost you, essentially. So the real easy way to go about doing that is you just take your total charges minus your non-usage charges, and then just divide by your usage. It seems pretty common sense to some, but to others it may not be as obvious. So we're going to go over that right now with you. So we're going to take this 117.17 minus the $7 customer charge, gives us $110.17. And then we're going to divide that by this 453. So divide that by 453 kilowatt hours. So now in this example, for every 1 kilowatt hour we use, it costs us 0.24 So again, if we just want to make that sense, we'll just make it easy. So for every 1 kilowatt hour in this example, it costs 24.32 cents per kilowatt hour, which is pretty high. This is an older example, so ironically enough, they show it here from 2019, which filming this video, we're currently in May of 2024. So it's kind of interesting that Eversource chooses not to provide an updated sample on their website, because this way it looks like the cost of electricity is less. But again, as I mentioned, this is an older sample. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up a newer sample here. So this is an Eversource bill from my area that's fairly recent. You can see I've redacted some of the customer's information, surprisingly higher than that 117 that we looked at, because as you can see, this is from 2024, March of 2024 actually. So you can see here the past electrical usage. It did seem to go up from March of last year to this year, and you can see it's actually up 43% from last year. In this electric bill, the total supply charge is $241 and the delivery charge is $220, which is together how they come up with this number here. And the electric supplier is based in Houston, Texas, and they're billing for Cape Light Compact. That's, again, this supply portion here is where the actual energy comes from. And then if we go into the second page, again, the second page is where we really find some more in-depth information. Again, I've redacted some of the customer's information here, but you can see the current usage, the actual kilowatt hours that they've used this month was 1,263. And again, the previous 12 months of usage. And we're just going to dive right into here and use this example that we just did to figure out a current electricity cost for this customer as of 2024. So again, the three numbers that we're going to look for is the total cost of your bill, the actual electricity usage of your bill, and then the non-usage associated charges, which again in this instance is only the customer charge of $10 here. And also too, in this example, you can see the customer charge has increased in this example from $7 in 2019 to $10 in 2024. So again, that's a 40% increase in just the cost of being a customer, not necessarily the cost of electricity. So again, what we're going to do here is we're going to take this 461.75, 461.75, and we're going to minus this $10 customer charge from it. Gives us 451.75. Again, basic math here. And then we're just going to take this 451.75 and now we're going to divide that, there we go, by 1263, giving us a total of $0.35. So now we're going to times that by 100 to give us our cents. So now you can see for every kilowatt hour that we use, the actual cost is going to be 35.76 cents per kilowatt hour in this example as of March, April of 2024. So another thing to look into is on your utility company's website, it will tell you when they can change the rate. So I don't know if it's on this page or not. I think it's on the previous page. So the rate in our area can change twice a year. It changes in January and June. Basically, they reevaluate the cost of fuel to determine what the impacted change should be to the rate. Either it can go up, it can go down. Predominantly, it is affected by the supply portion of your bill. So any increases, decreases are going to be noticeable on your supply, because again, the cost of fuel is going up or down. The delivery is fairly constant in my experience, because the charges that don't change as often are going to be the distribution, operations, service, maintenance, public policy, the transmission cost. Those aren't as variable or flexible variable as frequently as the supply and demand portion of a commodity like natural gas or oil, whatever, you know, the utility in your area uses as fuel. Predominantly it's not coal in America much anymore, but I digress. So that's going to be the Eversource portion. So again, Eversource on their website has a link to view what their past rates are for 2019, the delivery portion. Let's see, for residential, the delivery, again, the base customer charge was $7 in 2019. And this is the delivery rate. So the total delivery rate for residential was this number right here, roughly 10.7 cents per kilowatt hour for just the delivery rate in 2019. Likewise, if we go into the service, the supply, if you will, portion, which is also on their website. Again, so we have 2019 all year here. Yep. So we got January, February, March 2018 residential fixed. You can see we're floating right around 13.5 cents per kilowatt hour. So now likewise, we're going to take this 13.5 and add it to this 10. So we were sitting roughly right at around 23.5 cents per kilowatt hour as of 2019 total. And using the current example that we just did with the electric bill, we determined we were at what, 35.76 cents per kilowatt hour. So that's what, like a 60% increase, something like that, from 2019 to 2024. So in 5 years, the cost of energy total for supply and delivery has increased 60%. And the cost of being a customer, just this that base customer charge, you can see from $7 went up to $10. That's a 40% increase in 5 years. So the cost of energy only ever goes up. It hardly ever goes down, and if it does go down, it's very short-lived, and it's usually associated with the cost of energy at that time, which is based on other things as well. So again, all of this is just to help you analyze your own electric bill to determine what electricity rates are in your area. If you were able to go through this with your own electric bill, please comment down below. Let us all know what electricity rates are in your area. Don't be too specific, obviously, but you know, state, region, part of the country, I think would be great, just to kind of help educate our viewers and make everybody aware of what everybody's actual cost of energy is. So likewise, we're going to go to a Florida bill. So this is an example of a Florida Power and Light, FPL, and it's going to be very similar to what we've gone over as far as the Eversource bill is concerned. Again, all of this is right on their utilities website. It breaks down basically what we've just gone over. The front page, it's going to have your current charges, your billing times, your past usage history. The second page, again, is going to be more data driven. It tells you exactly what the breakdown of everything is. But Florida is a little bit different. They don't do a supply and delivery charge like Eversource does. They do a fuel charge and a non-fuel charge, which is essentially the same thing as saying supply and delivery. And as you can see in the non-fuel charge, it's broken down into several different categories: transition, storm protection, environmental, capacity, energy conservation. And the fuel charge is the cost for fuel required to provide each kilowatt hour of electricity. So again, the fuel is the cost to burn the energy, and the non-fuel charge is the cost to bring that energy to you. And again, the base charge is the non-usage associated charges. So that's like your customer charge, things like that. And again, it's all broken down here. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to take the time and we're going to look at an actual Florida Power and Light electric bill that one of my viewers was able to send me. Thank you very much, shout out. So again, with this bill, this was as of May 2024. The total amount due here, the past electricity usage here. And so this is the front page. Again, pretty much an overview of your account information and your current charges. The second page is really what we're going to want to look into. Again, the three things that we want to look for is your total charges, your usage, and your non-usage associated charges. And those three numbers are going to be what we determine to be the actual cost of energy. One other thing here is, and one of the reasons that makes it the simplest is because Florida, as you can see, they charge a different rate for less than 1,000 kilowatt hours and more than 1,000 kilowatt hours. So you can see their non-fuel charge is 8 or 9 cents respectively, and their fuel charge is 3 or 4 cents respectively per kilowatt hour, which again, those numbers are already drastically lower than Eversource, but rather than mess around with those, that math and everything, we're just going to go with the three numbers that are going to be the simplest: the total charges, the usage, and the non-usage associated charges. So again, so what we're going to do is we're going to take the total amount we owe, which is the $119.71, and we're going to subtract the non-usage associated charges, which in this example are going to be the base charge of $9.55, and then everything else is associated with usages. Taxes are all up. Nope, there's a late payment charge here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that $119.71 and we're going to subtract the $9.55, and we're going to subtract the $5 late fee. Brings our total to $105.16 for the usage portion of the math. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this 105.16 and we're going to divide that by the actual usage, which on this bill, the actual usage you can see up here, it took our previous reading and our current reading to figure out the difference. So the actual usage is 881 kilowatt hours, which is now $0.11. So now we're going to times that by 100 to figure out cents. So now total for this electric bill in this example, total for the fuel and non-fuel usage is 11.93 cents per kilowatt hour as of May 2024 in Florida. So Florida, as you can see, pays about 12 cents per kilowatt hour, whereas Eversource, Northeastern Massachusetts, pays 35 cents, 37 cents, I think it was. I can't remember, but yeah, 35.76 cents per kilowatt hour. So drastic difference in cost of energy depending on where you are in the country. And so again, that's a super easy way to determine how much you're paying per kilowatt hour of energy, because that's how all of our energy bills are measured. They're measured in kilowatt hours. And so you really need to figure out how much you pay per kilowatt hour, because your cost of energy will help better empower you to make better decisions on whether or not solar power could be worth it for you, or electric vehicles. If it's more efficient to drive an electric vehicle versus a gas vehicle. Hint, I'm actually working on a video about that right now. So all of these things that we've discussed today are going to help educate you and help you to determine what your actual cost of energy is for your area, so that way you can determine what the best form of energy to use is for your situation. For example, if you have solar and you have heat pumps with excess solar credit, you can use your heat pumps to actually heat your home in the winter time. So that way you can actually reduce your overall gas bill by using your excess electricity credits. So again, by knowing what your cost of energy is, it will help you to better determine what you use energy on and what the best form of energy to use is, because you may be paying more for something and not realizing that there's a better option out there. But ultimately, it all starts with breaking down your electric bill to determine how much you pay for energy and if it's advantageous to use that energy or a different form of energy there. Again, all of this information is available online, but the easiest way to do it is to just look for those three numbers on your electric bill, some easy addition, subtraction, division, and you can figure out what your cost of energy is. If you like this video, if you found it helpful at all, please like and subscribe to the channel. It does help me out. I'll keep trying to push out some more of these videos to help educate you and give you some more information about electric bills, solar power, renewable energies in general, alternative fuels. So if you found this content engaging and if you enjoyed it, please share it with a friend. Like I said, like the video, subscribe below, stay up to date for all of my latest content. I don't push out a bunch of videos as of this moment, so don't worry about getting inundated and dinged all the time on your phone. But if you do want to stay up to date with renewable energies, and if this does interest you, like, comment, subscribe below. Thanks a lot, I appreciate it, and we'll see you in the next one.